Antigone, written by Sophocles, is part of the trilogy about Oedipus the king. It is one of the most powerful Greek tragedies, telling an incredible story about unyielding love and untimely deaths. The main character, Antigone, during her short life on earth, has endured the sufferings, defied authority, witnessed devoted love, and at the end sacrificed her life by following her beliefs. After hearing Antigone's story, I wonder how many teenagers today can brag about their life experiences. As happened in the previous plays, Antigone grew up a princess in the royal household of King Oedipus and Queen Jocasta, along with her three siblings. All of a sudden, with no fault of her own, she fell from grace, lost her mother, exiled in a foreign land, taking care of her blind father, begging on the street, all the same time carrying the unspeakable family shame. She was barely a teenage girl at the time of her father's death. Then her two brothers attacked each other over the dispute of who should be the legitimate king of the land. The war ended with both brothers died in the battlefield, and their uncle Creon became the king of Thebes. Creon declared one brother, Polynices, as a traitor, so he should not be properly buried or mourned. Antigone defied his order and buried her brother according to the tradition. Creon found out and ordered to bury Antigone alive in a tomb. Facing this death sentence, Antigone continued to defend her action as compliant to God's laws. Creon's son Haemon, who was deeply in love with Antigone, couldn't persuade his father to save his lover's life. Out of despair, he killed himself in front of Antigone's tomb, and she ended her life by hanging herself. The queen was consumed with grief over her son's death and anger towards Creon. She committed suicide too. Creon finally realized that it was him who insisted on his own law, destroyed his family. Like most of the Greek tragedies, this play took place in the setting of a royal family. However, beneath the facade of a kingdom, 表面, it is fundamentally a story about families and relationships among individuals whom we can all relate to. A rebellious teenager, a sympathetic mother, a stubborn father, and a devoted lover. The ability for the audience to identify with the characters is one key reason for this masterpiece or any masterpieces of literature to last centuries across time and cultural barriers. Antigone is at the center of the story with many layers of identities. She's about only 15 years old and already gone from a privileged princess to an outcast of the society, from a carefree child to become a caretaker of an ailing parent, from a defender of family dignity to a criminal on a death row. Is she a hero who embodies courage to fight for what she believes in? Or is she a troublemaker whose self-righteous actions triggered the sequence of unfortunate events? At the core of the story lies the conflicts between Antigone and the people around her, Creon, Haemon, and even her dead brother Polynices. The writer masterfully unfolds the tension between individuality and the community at large, between self and the others. Don't ever underestimate one person's power to make a difference in the world, either for good or for evil. What, you may ask, do these seemingly good people do to bring unto themselves such calamities? Are the gods to blame who laid out the catastrophic destinies for our humans? Or are these people at fault of their own actions? Sophocles, the writer, gives the best answer. All men make mistakes, But a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong and repairs the evil. 知错就改. The only crime is pride. 自负. Creon's pride in his reign over kingdom made him a tyrant. 暴君. He made the inhuman decision of not giving the dead man his nephew a proper burial. When his authority was challenged by Antigone, his pride turned into cruelty by sentencing the young girl, his own niece, to be buried alive. Can you see what Antigone is proud of? How does her pride lead to her demise? Suicide is a familiar theme in all tragedies, from the ancient Greeks to Shakespearean. The 5 deaths occurred in this play, with the exception of the 2 brothers, are all suicides. As human civilization progresses, suicide in most cultures is considered the worst kind of death, because it makes the killer and the victim as one entity. Therefore, the death cannot be avenged. Justice system is powerless, and it is nearly impossible for the community to heal. Suicide leaves an irreparable hole in a society. Later on, Christian doctrine banishes suicide as an irredeemable sin. What makes this tragedy even more heartbreaking is that the motive of suicides was out of love, not out of hatred. Haemon died because of his devotion for Antigone, 殉情, and that theme resurfaced in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. The queen died out of grief for her son. Antigone faced death bravely because of her love for the brother and dedication to family honor. May this video be dedicated to those whom we love and those who love us unconditionally.